Welcome to the Herd's official YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Colin Cowherd podcast, all of our NFL instant reactions, and more football content. Oh, it is a Wednesday. There is a lot to talk about. We've got ourselves a real World Series. Michael Jordan hammering current NBA stars. The Steelers are officially broken, and the Chiefs have fixed all their problems again. It is Wednesday. This is the Herd in Chicago, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. Thanks for making us part of your day. Well, J-Mac, I like the Dodgers in 6, and one of the reasons we said we like the Dodgers in a long series is Toronto gets bat on ball. So they got a lot of power hitters. Their guys are all hitting, and the Dodgers guys are not. And last night was another example. So we said going in, the Toronto Blue Jays, gut check win for them. That's why they're in the World Series. We didn't know if they were going to be on fumes. They are a big inning team. 9 times in the playoffs, they've scored 4 or more runs in an inning. That's 3 times more than the Dodgers. And they dropped a 4 spot in the 7th inning. So Ohtani was fine. He made, in the first couple innings, Shohei Ohtani made Toronto batters look really bad. He mostly had his stuff. Shohei was sharp. 6 innings, gave up 6 hits. He was fine. Now, Vlad Guerrero, and you know this is going to happen, Vlad Guerrero was eventually going to break out of it, and he did. Vlad's hitting .419 in the playoffs. So when you hang one up near his belt, he's going to do that and park it at Dodger Stadium. But here's a Dodger dilemma. There are 6 players in the World Series that are hitting 300 or better. 6. 5 are Blue Jays. Addison Barger hitting .429. Vlad hitting 4. Bo Bichette, Alejandro Kirk, Ernie Clement. I mean, there's Shohei Ohtani's mixed in there, but it is a real problem right now. Toronto gets bat on ball, and last night's a prime example. Dave Roberts had talked about Shohei bringing down the velocity to see if he could last longer, so he wasn't quite as dominating, but he left. It was 2-1, and it wasn't long after that, it was 6-1, because this is what Toronto does. They get bat on ball. And so you can't ask for everybody to throw a complete game. Blake Snell goes tonight, but the bigger issue is Max Muncy's hitting $176. Mookie Betts is hitting $158. Tommy Edman, great defensive players, hitting $167. So Freddie Freeman and Ohtani are carrying the offense. They're on fire. Everybody else for the Dodgers is on sabbatical with a lot of strikeouts. And once again last night, they stranded 18 the other night and won. Last night, they were 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. So you just right now, the story of the series is Ohtani's unbelievable, but the Blue Jays have 5 guys hitting over 300 and a couple at 400 and above. So they're going to have to tweak that roster, tweak that lineup. The bullpen again, it's been spotty. Hot and cold. Last night, couldn't get outs. But it was more about Toronto. Getting guys on, driving runs in. Here's Dave Roberts on his struggling offense.
We haven't found our rhythm. We haven't. It sort of draws dead at certain parts of the lineup and different parts, different innings, different games. Guys are competing. Certainly in the postseason, you're seeing everyone's best. But yeah, my hope is we regroup tomorrow.
Well, good luck. Blake Snell goes tonight, and then we're going to get 2 games, 1 minimum in Canada. But last night was the Jays' night, and Ohtani was fine. He was pretty sharp. But at some point, Vlad was going to pitch up in the strike zone. He did, and the ball got rolling. Everybody ages differently. A lot of it's genetics. I saw an interesting number the other day. People that live to be 100 actually work out less than people that die at 80, meaning the octogenarians, they got good genetics. That doesn't mean you can't improve the quality of your life in your last 5 or 6 years if, you take your omega-3 and eat your salmon and your greens. But pro athletes that are hyper athletic or depend on that, like a Russell Westbrook or a Cam Newton, don't age as well. Like the NBA, KD ages well. He's a get a bucket guy. Steph will age well. Jokic will age well. And we'll see. Giannis is fascinating. He's going to be 31 here in like a week or so. And there have been trade rumors for years with Giannis. And my take is he's going to age quickly because his game is predicated on, he can't shoot. He's not a shooter. It's going to be predicated on his athletic ability. And he's still got 3 or 4 great years. He had 37 last night. They beat the Knicks. He's unstoppable, shot like 75%. But he's had injuries, and I don't think he'll age particularly well. And Milwaukee, 3 straight first-round exits. That's in the East. They're a mile. They're a borderline playoff team in the West with Giannis. So that tells you it's Giannis and everything else. It's got, I said this for years with Mike Trout. I don't care what the market size is. I want to see great with great. Hanks, Spielberg, DiCaprio, Scorsese, Samuel L. Jackson, Tarantino. I want great on great. You're seeing it now. Dodgers, great organization, Ohtani. It feels different. Mahomes, Reed. It's not a market size thing. Kevin Garnett won an MVP in Minnesota. You remember the Celtics. And that's not to say that everybody's got to go to a big market. I love watching the Packers play. It's not a market size thing. Great on great. Milwaukee took some huge swings. Now they don't have draft capital, and they're paying Dame's salary for 5 years, or part of it. And so it's like they tried. But they're not really viable in the East. They are not viable in the East. In the West, they're probably a 7 seed with Giannis, who is unbelievable. So they've been a very good regular season team. But, I mean, last year, I think J-Mac called it, like one and done, not competitive, got blown out several times, first round. So there have been these rumors. And by the way, not all rumors are physical. Some are flirting emotionally. Giannis is flirting emotionally. There's been a lot of talk when stuff gets leaked, when somebody wants it leaked. There's been a lot of stories that I think I read one of them that there's a direct flight from Newark to Greece and he wanted to be closer to the airport or something. I don't know. All I know is there's rumors. He's unbelievable. I would love to see him play with Ant. I would love to see him with Amen Thompson and KD. He's not going to the Lakers. They don't have enough to give up. I've said before, if I was the Warriors, I would give up Kuminga. I'd give up Jimmy Butler. I'd give up 4 first-round picks. If I had to give up pods, I'd consider it. Here is Giannis, who was amazing last night, beating the Knicks at home on the New York trade rumors.
I don't remember that. Right now, I'm here representing my team. And that's it. We beat the Knicks. I didn't read that article. Try to stay away from all that rumors and I don't know how you call it, speculations and trade and all this. It doesn't concern me one bit. I try to involve myself and try to help my team win games.
Yeah, he feels like he needs to be playing in June and late May and not be a first-round exit guy. I felt, watching him last night, there's an Ohtani feel. It's not that the Angels couldn't be entertaining, but you need better people hitting in front of him and behind him and a bigger stage. So it was interesting. Michael Jordan is part of NBC's coverage for the NBA now. And he called out load management. Load management, for the uninitiated here, is when mostly star players just decide, I don't want to play. I'm tired. I don't like it at all. There's things about the NBA I love. I've been watching it since the early 70s. I can't stand load management because I grew up in a small town 3 hours from an NBA arena, and I got to go to a game about every other year. That's what we could afford. And I wanted to see Jack Sigma, and I wanted to see downtown Freddie Brown. And so you're driving to the arena, and your stars aren't there. So I don't like it, and there's no data to prove that it works. So between the 90s and 2020, we went and looked. The average number of games missed in the 90s by star players, 10 a year. It is ballooned to 24, 2.5 times. And there is no medical benefit. The NBA did studies on it. There is no medical benefit on sitting. It's all nonsense. So in the NBA media, which in my opinion tends to be too accommodating to star players, won't press players on it. Now, LeBron, as we show a picture of LeBron doesn't bother me. LeBron's been carrying the league for 15 years. It's more the Kawhi thing. And what I really think load management is, it's selfish. Sort of like what Terry Rozier did, or Damon Jones, or Chauncey Billups. It's selfish to do that. Throw your teammates under a bus to make $10,000. The basketball culture is a lot of me and not a lot of we. And it's why the NBA is so popular on Instagram. Instagram is a look at me platform, and it's wildly popular for NBA players. Is it narcissists checking out narcissists? I don't know. But Adam Silver admitted we are a highlights league. And what that tells you is the fans are load managing NBA viewing. You're not going to commit to us, then we won't commit to watching 3-hour games. And so I don't think there's an individual to blame. I mean, Greg Popovich was doing this years ago. He didn't like the NBA schedule and all the back-to-backs. But I would say what the irritating part of load management to me is the All-Star break is now longer. There are almost no back-to-backs. So the league has bent over backwards to extend the All-Star break, have fewer back-to-backs. I'm okay with old guys missing games or injury-prone guys like Embiid can miss a game. LeBron doesn't want to play back-to-back. Barkley didn't want to play back-to-back end of his career. I'll give those guys passes. But young stars under 33, 34, what are we doing here? So here's Adam Silver recently admitting it's a highlight league.
There's a huge amount of our content that people can essentially consume for free. I mean, this is very much a highlights-based sport, so, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, you name it, any service, the New York Times for that matter, to the extent that your content is not behind a paid firewall. There's an enormous amount of content out there. YouTube, by another example.
Well, I would say there's an enormous amount of content everywhere, but be that as it may, David Stern years ago said, we're a highlight league. Adam Silver echoed it. That's not what bothers me. What bothers me is load management. Think about this. There were several Major League Baseball All-Stars. They play outdoors. You ever been outdoors in St. Louis in the summer? Cincinnati, Kansas City, Cleveland? It's charming. Several All-Stars played 162 of 162 games. Cal Raleigh's a catcher wearing 20 pounds of gear? He played 159. Okay. 11 total NBA players played every game last year. None of them stars. So you can do it. They're just choosing not to. And so Michael Jordan's right. There's no medical benefit at all. And what you're noticing is the highest paid stars are the ones that don't want to play every night. Again, I'll defend LeBron. Carried the league for 15 years. He's older. I've said before, the two groups of people in the NBA I will defend not playing. When you get somebody over 7 feet, the body's not meant to be 7'3". If a Chet Holmgren comes into the league or a Wemby, first couple years, as you're growing and getting strength, play 55, 60 games. Reward the home fans. If you're going to punish anybody, punish the road fans. Take care of the home fans. So I said when Wemby came out, 7'4" is hard on the body. Like let's go. I said it, Chet Holmgren, 55, 65, and it maybe tops at 72, 74. It's just a different body. Big guys get hurt early. They get hurt often. I'll defend those young body types early in their career. And then stars that have carried the league late. If Steph Curry wants to play 72, not 82, I'm okay with it. Just reward Warrior fans. I like Michael Jordan's belief, which is just play 82 games, play hard, give it everything, steak and potatoes every night, literally cards in the back of the plane, burn bright. I think I'd rather have the Marlon Brando career, which is like 7 hits, handful of bombs, not a bunch of B-level hits. I would rather go big shots, end quickly, be a legend. Your argument with Michael Jordan is he should have load managed.
100,000%. Colin, he played 13 seasons with the Bulls, 2 with the Wizards. He only played 15 seasons. Now, we could argue, hey, man, maybe he burned too bright. If he didn't do 82 games a year for 5 straight seasons, we would have had more Michael Jordan. LeBron's about to start whenever he gets healthy here. You're 23. I think it's smart to play 65, 70 games a season and extend your career by, I don't know, 7, 8 years. I mean, Colin, honestly, you wouldn't want more Michael Jordan if it meant, hey, man, sorry, you're not playing in November against the expansion Hornets. You know, sorry, you're sitting out of February back to back. Like, that's just smarter basketball. We're getting more Steph Curry. Steph Curry's going to have a longer career, I don't know, by like 4 or 5 years than Michael Jordan. Like, that's insane.
You know, it's a really interesting because obviously what makes Brady great isn't sheer talent. It's longevity and production over those years. But when people look at, you know, a lot of people are like, well, Dan Marino or Aaron Rodgers. And I've always said that Tom was a lot more talented than people give him credit for. He had an elite arm, elite brain, big, strong, drafted by a Major League Baseball team. Tom was a much better athlete than anybody gave him credit for. He just wasn't nimble. He grew up in the pocket world, in the pocket era, and he was the best pocket quarterback of all time. But it's interesting. My take is the greatest legend in the history of the Dodgers is Sandy Koufax. Sandy Koufax had like 3 unbelievable years and 3 other great years. He's the greatest. I mean, in the Dodgers history, of all the Dodgers, Koufax is the ultimate legend. He had a very short career. I mean, don't even count the Washington years. Basically, Michael had just 2 great 3-year runs, and he's the biggest basketball legend. If you look at the greatest actors, it's not about this catalog of performances. What are your 4 best movies? You could even throw in stinkers with Brando. So I think in the entertainment space, legends are made on great, not extension. They're not made on volume. They're built on what were you at your best? Ohtani in the last week has had 2 of the greatest games ever by a baseball player. If Ohtani retired at the end of this season, he would still be called, he's the greatest baseball player of all time.
That's because we never get to see them age and struggle, right? I mean, they're the great pop culture. Marilyn Monroe is a big-time legend. James Dean. These guys, we never got to see them in their 40s or 50s. You know, they're in their prime, and that's how we remember them. All anybody remembers is Jordan's prime. Do they remember the Washington Wizards years? Because, by the way, LeBron's flourishing as an all-NBA player in his 40s. And the Tom Brady argument kind of kills that. Like, Brady played forever. I mean, there's people who think Brady could suit up now and go out there and get a team into the playoffs and, I don't know, maybe make a run to the Super Bowl. Like, LeBron is always going to do that, and I wish we had more Jordan. I wish he hadn't quit twice.
By the way, who's the best running back of all time?
Probably Barry Sanders, right?
Retired at 30. Sandy Koufax, retired at 30. Now, Koufax played for 12 years in the bigs, but he had like 6 great years. The best pitcher, the best running back, retired at 30. So, by the way, they got their pension, they got money, they're still legends.
The highlight reel. Yeah.
Everything. So, you know, I don't know. I love Jordan's brand was best basketball player ever. Nobody cares about the years. I mean, I would argue that there's LeBron fatigue right now. Like, we're all kind of like, bro, it's whatever. I mean,
he's putting up 25, 5, and 5, or whatever the numbers are.
I'm not disputing it, but he's about 70% of what he was. What I don't want to see is old LeBron. Like, this year's team, the owners have already made the deal. It's Luka's team. Everybody.
I get that. What do you mean you don't want to see old LeBron? Lionel Messi is thriving in MLS right now. Okay, he just signed a new deal.
No, but the difference
is still playing.
Yeah, he's a goal a minute. He's different. He has taken the lead. I mean, he's the best player when you see him on the field. He's still unbelievable. LeBron's not a top 5 player. I don't mind that he's playing. He's still very good. I don't want to see him playing in 3 years. I don't want to see LeBron in 3 years. I like that. Now, it's not my decision. Go for it.
Yeah.